Hello Jen, and welcome to Fashion Exposed. Thank you for your presentation today, WGSN. You noted femininity was slowly replacing androgyny for spring, summer and going forward. How and what are some of the shapes that we're seeing?
Okay, well we spoke about a trend called boudoir grunge, and it's quite a new look. It's not completely replacing androgyny. We're noticing pretty dresses with maybe a mannish tuxedo style jacket as a way of looking at the trend. We also referenced designers like Celine, who are doing things quite differently with a pencil skirt and cami top. It's also got a slightly subversive edge to the trend for junior, so we talked about things like pastels with grunge logos for girls. We talked about kind of almost like kittens and rainbows, using very kind of punk-inspired looks as well. So that's one way that we've noticed it coming through for junior as well.
Great. Sportswear and sports couture, this is something that just continues to go through season to season. What are some of the key shapes for sportswear and key looks?
Well, we've certainly noticed with dresses, on things like the simple shift, we've got more kind of a scuba neckline coming through. We've noticed ergonomic knits in colours of white with bright highlights looking very key. For menswear, we've noticed kind of things like baseball jackets. We've really picked up on XXL styling for spring summer 13. So lots and lots of different sportswear references, and it's not dying at all. We're just seeing it coming through in different ways.
Leather. This is just huge on the high street, and leather on leather, like almost like the denim trend, triple leather, leather hats. Yes. What are some of the fabrics? You know, you're seeing how this fabric has evolved from autumn winter into a spring summer fabric.
Well, for autumn winter we saw a lot of cut-out laser effects, and we're seeing those laser effects coming through into kind of the mainstream market as well. We noted a particular designer, Ral, with lovely kind of minute laser detailing on scalloped edges. We've noticed things like just faux leather shirts are very simple. So the leather doesn't seem to be very detailed. It's actually very beautiful and very simplified in the ways that we're seeing it coming through.
So it must be a lot lighter as well.
Very light, so almost going, I guess, again into the sportswear look. Combining with that as well.
Oriental is something new that we're seeing now that's become a very, very key trend, even going into autumn winter 13-14. What are some of the ways we can introduce this into our ranges?
Okay, well we've certainly noticed things like kimono style dressing, so really lovely soft kind of wrapped tops. We've noticed really great wrapped skirts with which is a good silhouette to use for combining print and pattern, different prints in a skirt. It's just a lovely palette as well for blue and green. It's got a zen-like quality. Lots of our customers asked us last season, they said, well, how do we update Hawaiian? You know, it's been around for such a long time. And our senior fashion editor actually said use more oriental inspired florals. So we're noticing them coming through also with micro geos in a garment as well. So very new.
If there's one trend that you see stands out above anything else that's coming from spring, summer into autumn, winter and beyond, what is that?
It probably has to be 60s. We had it also for autumn, winter when we came last time to Fashion Exposed, but if you go to Northern Hemisphere at the moment, or even in retail at the moment here, we're talking about black and white, so black and white stripes, black and white checkerboards. It's a really great commercial trend, and we're seeing it impacting even going into autumn winter 13-14. If you look at catwalks that have just come through recently, there's a lot of black and white. It's been updated in more of a folkloric print way, so it's still continuing the black and white story.
How do we translate trends from a high fashion perspective into a commercial sense? Because some of them can be quite tricky, like the bra top or the sheer.
I think you know, it's really trying to take the main message and really thinking about how that's going to appeal to your general customer. What is she really confident enough to wear? A good example of that is the bra top. You know, not many of us want to expose our midriff, so it might be just an undergarment with a sheer t-shirt over the top. We've talked a lot about sheers this season, and we've noticed them being inserted into t-shirts and panels. So it's really just a lot of common sense. What would somebody wear, and how would they adapt that trend? And we really talk about how it filters down for different levels of the market. Trends aren't moving quickly, they move quite slowly. So for the next season, we're talking a more cocooning shapes and blouson shapes coming through in outerwear like coats and jackets, and gradually the customer is becoming more confident to wear these items.
Great. And how have sequins come through? Because they just don't go away.
They don't go away, they're still here. We talked about them in our sports inspired trend. We're noticing them a little bit more matte. We've noticed them in shift dresses with very important V necklines. They're a bit more dulled down. We've also noticed them coming through in degradé effects, so maybe different kind of shifts of colour of sequins, so a little bit more subtle, less bling, I would say.
Yeah, yeah. More sporty.
Yes, more sporty.
Great. Thanks, Jen.
You're welcome.
Cheers.